just be a short video of the old tradition, especially in the medieval times, of celebrating Mickelsmässa and Mikkelinmessu in Finnish and Mickelsmässa in Swedish and some other things as well. And he's celebrated in Judaism and Christianity, and I think in some parts traditions of Islam as well. And the main thing is that it's always celebrated after the harvest, and especially here in Europe and in the northern Europe, I would say, it's when the bearberries and blackberries, I don't know if they are the same, it's uva ursi in Latin, since that shows that it's time, they didn't have almanacs or anything. And the dates vary in Europe. In Catholic tradition, they often use the 29th September, and as you can see here as well in my calendar here in Sweden, you have the name's day of Archangel Michael. But if you look here, you see that the day for the Michaelmas changes to 2nd, and that is different in all countries, or especially if you're Lutheran and different faiths. There are so many. And Orthodox have their own, and usually it is between 29th September to November. Around 10th November, I think it is the day, or 11th. What I found out in the Baltic, Slavic, German, Israel is part of Europe as well, so Europe is big. And but I celebrate it on the 21st September. And many in the real north, they celebrate it earlier as well, since it's depending on nature, and it's a heavenly sign in one way, for me at least, that this is the last day when the sun is up so much and then it will go dark. So I follow the sun and Michael. And a feast used to be in the historical time fresh berries, milk and honey, and rye or wheat and barley in some countries, and in Finland it was only rye, since wheat don't grow. It's they didn't have modified wheat back then, so it's very new that they can grow wheat in the south. It's also a sowing time for these rye and wheat and barley, I think. And it's an old agricultural celebration. I think it's just like pagans call it Lunarsad. They are about the same, I guess. And it is done when, this is the important thing, when hay is stored, harvest is done, and drying of berries and fruits are done for the winter ahead. That's when you take it, since you don't have time to waste during the precious hours. Candles and beeswax and such things were only for the rich and wealthy back in the day, so if you wanted light you had to use animal lard and dry grass, and that smells horribly. And it's usually done before the slaughter of the winter. And colors in the old days were blue, white, and then there are, in some parts of Europe, there are these daisies that grow that are purple with yellow dot inside, and sunflowers in those countries of Europe where sunflowers grow. So there are some variations here, but this is really the celebration here. And this is the last feast with fresh berries and fruit, and milk is getting very expensive and rare. And all quarterly rents and everything happened at each quarter back in the day in Europe. So rents, schools, all that kind of thing, lawmakers and so on. And after the feast, food rationing for the harsh winter begins. And And that started rightly after Michaelmas. So this was just some old things, and you can see it how loved Michael is in the colors of many flags. Finland, his flag is white and blue, and Israel's as well, and Ukraine has sunflowers as the symbol. And so when you look at the real traditions from the countries in whatever part of the world it is, it always shows something of the old things. So this was just a quick overview of Michaelmas, and just to celebrate him. And I will call upon all the shaman and so on, and all the archangels as well. So, but this was all for now. Have a magical day, and I hope you be inspired and tell me about it. Bye for now.